the umpire got it spot on. So are they pulling a fast one on us here, do you think, Tomos, with Jamesy going back into left half forward straight away?
Yes, could be, Jerry, you know, but maybe after a while, we could see Jamesy coming back out there again, you know. Initially at the start, everybody's chopping and changing, and it's really interesting to see how the game develops in there.
Huge puck out by Richie Burke. They have the wind of the first half, Galway. It's McMahon again who breaks it up, hoping to get the better of his contest there with Joe Rabbit. So many vital tussles all around the park this afternoon. There's not the usual lush covering of grass that you expect at this time of the year, but I suppose that a testament to the recent weather conditions. It's fairly tight, looks a bit parched in areas, as David Fitzgerald hits that ball way down, batted out by Sean Tracy, only as far as the Sparrow, and he puts it over the bar. Gerald Loughlin has the credit of getting the first Clare point in an All-Ireland semi-final for 63 years. This was a very good point from play after it was batted down. Sean Tracy got up magnificently, but waiting for it and anticipating was Gerald Loughlin from Clare Castle. Clare in front. Liam Doyle making a very positive start. Indeed, the entire Clare half-back line's quick to settle. Not a good stroke, however. Michael Coleman providing the fodder inside, runs on too long. Davy Fitzgerald. Penalty hero, of course, in Thurles about 4 weeks ago. That was prodded on there by Fergie Toohey, but it'll be a Galway sideline ball.
Certainly a good start here by the Clare half-back line, and that has been the launch pad for the victories in Munster this year so far, you know, and it'll be very important for them to keep that up today.
Here's Jerry McInerney who's going to take this. You'll remember Jerry, I suppose, from about 10 years ago. I think he made his championship debut in 1986 and then came to prominence with the white boots. Back to the black variety this afternoon. In towards Ollie Fahy, taken instead by Anthony Daly. Jamesy O'Connor misses it, runs on well to Conor Clancy. Cross towards Stephen McNamara's corner. Jerry McInerney is back there anticipating. Drives the ball to midfield towards Michael Coleman. Ollie Baker leaving it behind there. Clancy hand-passing it. Inside towards Fergal Hegarty. Runs on to Nigel Shaughnessy of Galway. The settling down stages. It's Joe Cooney getting there ahead of Brian Lohan. And the referee says you took too many steps, and that's going to be a free down for Clare. Joe doing an awful lot of good work coaching around the New Inn Boulogne area in County Galway. This again is where Joe took possession and where the referee decided he took a step too many. Two touches as well. Runs in, caught well. Brendan Keogh towards Justin Campbell, read instead by Anthony Daly, the Clare team captain. Long ball. McNamara and Clancy. Clancy has it. The partial block there by Sean Tracy. Trying to take it up onto a stick again. Is PJ O'Connell. And that's gone just to the left of the post. They're protesting inside about it. Certainly Conor Clancy's protesting.
Certainly was very close, you know, Ger, and great start by Clare, you know, and they looked very, very fit.
This one started out as if it was going wide and then seemed to veer in, but it was a tight one. So just a point to show for the opening 4 minutes and a little over. Micheál McGloin, the team doctor for Galway, long time associated with Galway teams. Nigel Shaughnessy not making such great headway with it, but they gain an extra 10 metres or so. Went off a Clare man. That's one of the Clare selectors, Michael McNamara, in there, along with Tony Considine and Ger Loughnane. They wait inside. Frank Lohan marking Francis Ford. Nigel Shaughnessy looking for a bit more elevation this time. Stopped by Liam Doyle. They converge on him quickly. Nothing given away easily in this All-Ireland semi-final. Here's Liam Burke foraging. Bad ball, straight to Ollie Baker. Downfield towards Gerald Loughlin, the only scorer so far. The sting taken off that one by a little touch by Conor O'Donovan. PJ O'Connell, what a match he played against Limerick. That's carried on there neatly. Won well by Sean Tracy. The clearance by Brendan Keogh. Here's Michael O'Halloran, the 6 Mile Bridge man. Justin Campbell trying to get onto it. Likewise Ollie Baker at midfield. PJ O'Connell whips on it in towards Conor Clancy. 45 metres out, trying to sell the hand pass outside, but again it's Sean Tracy who sticks like a leech to the full forward. Joe Rabbit drifting towards midfield. It's Michael Coleman who has it. Again a long ball favouring the goalkeeper. They've done that a couple of times and the corner forwards have been too far back. The clearance won back here by Nigel Shaughnessy. Galway look for their first point of the match, and that's gone away to the left. First wide by Galway. There were 2 by Clare already. Well, they were saying in Athenry when I was up there on Tuesday night that if this Galway team clicks, well, they'll really play well. But the question is whether or not they've got the combination right.
That's it, Jerry, you know, and we've seen what Clare have done in the Munster Championship, but nobody knows to see what Galway can produce today. And I mean, they've produced some unbelievable performances in Ireland semi-final days, and the Galway people will be hoping to do the same today.
Good long ball by David Fitzgerald. Stephen McNamara beaten for it by Christy Halibert. This comes out neatly here to Porrick Kelly. Kelly, good ball downfield. Away from Francis Ford by Frank Lohan. Shawnee McMahon. Down towards Fergie Toohey, the breaking ball. Nigel Shaughnessy in there challenging. Likewise Brendan Keogh for Galway. PJ O'Connell one-handed, having to kick it forward. Christy Halibert. It really is frantic stuff so far. Good ball forward into space here towards Ollie Baker. And that's taken by Conor O'Donovan, a very, very stylish defender, O'Donovan. One of Galway's best. Justin Campbell under the breaking ball, challenged by Shawnee McMahon, whose jersey's been ripped in the early exchanges. Galway's sideline ball. Well, fast and furious and without a real pattern so far. But then semi-finals can so often be like that when they're coldly analysed. So much at stake at this level, this stage. Knocked forward there by Fergus Toohey. Jamesy O'Connor towards Gerald Loughlin. Conor O'Donovan alongside him. Sean Tracy, really he's in charge so far in that duel with Conor Clancy. Missed there by Michael O'Halloran. Nervous start. Picked up by Ollie Fahy. Fahy, one of 4 under-21s in this Galway team, playing this afternoon. A good block down by O'Halloran. Followed his man well, but it comes back to Fahy again. Here's a good chance, and he takes it. And the sides are level. Fahy from Gort in South County Galway. Well, this is where he benefited well. There was a very good block down there, but when the ball came back again from that little nudge forward, it was picked up by the Galway player, and he put it over the bar. Nigel Shaughnessy contesting in there with Fergal Hegarty. That's Jerry McInerney. This is his platform. A big occasion. Justin Campbell bottled up there by Ollie Baker. Porrick Kelly one-handed forward again towards Justin Campbell. His marker is Anthony Daly. Into space comes Michael Coleman. Towards Joe Cooney, runs on towards Liam Burke. And back there goes another Liam Doyle of Bodyke in County Clare. Fergal Hegarty under the dropping ball over there with Nigel Shaughnessy, and the Clare player indicted by the referee. Hegarty from Kilnamona decides to dispense with the black helmet.
It was interesting to see Ger there at the very start there that Joe Cooney has been playing away out from full forward and has left an awful lot of space in behind him. Now either the corner forwards are going to have to capitalise on that, or else the ball is going to run into David Fitzgerald in goal, and we've seen that happening on 1 or 2 occasions already.
Well, Joe has decided to come out and take responsibility here from the 65. Dropped in dangerously. Brian Lohan on his knees. Liam Burke somehow got a block there. It was Frank Lohan who got the block on it, assisting his brother Brian. And they were really looking at considerable danger from that free by Joe Cooney. Watch as Brian Lohan ended up on his knees here and needed his brother to come across and assist him with that sweeping clearance out of defence. Nigel Shaughnessy taking his third sideline cut. Ollie Baker is back there. One of the heroes from Thurles towards Jamesy O'Connor. Closely marked so far by Pádraig Kelly, unable to make a major impact indeed. Here's Justin Campbell. Campbell getting away from Daly, and that's over the bar. And Galway go in front. Campbell's first point. So the two wing forwards now for Galway have scored. And this was set up there initially by Pádraig Kelly, getting away quite easily from the man he's marking, who's Jamesy O'Connor, and that was taken in quite some considerable style by Campbell. Ollie Baker breaking it down with the right hand, following it up himself, sending it towards the wing forward. Jerry McInerney in there trying to deny Jamesy O'Connor. Fergie Toohey the one, in fact, and that's going to be a free to Galway. And they're showing their greater experience of this big occasion in these early minutes. Clare may have got the first point, but it's Galway who have settled better. Christy Helibert, as Galway play with the wind, prodded on there by Justin Campbell, just a little bit. Seanie McMahon trying to take it away from Ollie Fahy. Fahy having difficulty getting it up onto a stick, trying to play the ground stroke. That's swept away there by Ollie Baker towards Fergie Toohey. Toohey against Jerry McInerney and also Nigel Shaughnessy. 2 against 1, and Toohey causing some consternation. Baker trying to come in to assist, and instead it's Liam Burke who takes it up. Burke from Kilkenarren in Galway, beating off the challenges of 3 Clare players. Clare standing back somewhat. Baker with clever stick work, taking it away there from the attention of Joe Cooney. Good relieving clearance, very near the sideline. Jerry McInerney in full flight. The linesman over there, who is Tommy McIntyre. Colin Flynn there in the centre of that group. Reminds me to say hello to Eugene Leonard from Frox Rock, whose heart and soul is here, but not up to it this afternoon, I'm told, but wished well. So Fergal Hegarty to take it. Low inside towards PJ O'Connell, not exerting much of an influence so far against Brendan Keogh, but it's early stages. Hegarty going in again, using his strength, a determined run forward. Clare looking for a few scores just to settle down. Pádraig Kelly. The cheers are from the Galway fans right now, but Clare people urging on their team. Inside towards Francis Ford, being marked by Frank Lohan. Lohan wins it to Seanie McMahon. A good one by McMahon, causing some problems inside for Clancy here. Conor Clancy getting away from Sean Tracy, goes back however. That's great full back play by Sean Tracy, the Galway captain on the day. Stephen McNamara did enough to get the ball towards Jamesy O'Connor. Now Nigel Shaughnessy, leaving it for Ollie Fahy. Seanie McMahon says, I'll take it up, but there's a Galway man in pressurising. That Galway man was Joe Rabbit. Now the other Joe Cooney, sent outside towards Justin Campbell. Galway leading by a point. The jersey pulled, the jersey of Justin Campbell, hauled back by Anthony Daly. So Galway have the free, and this the reason why. Well, that was when Justin Campbell was on his way. They make good sturdy jerseys, but that was tested to the limit. And Joe Cooney puts it over the bar. His first point coming from a free. I'll tell you, there's some noise, there's some atmosphere around here.
There's a great atmosphere out there, and at the other end of the field you can see the Galway half-back line have steadied themselves very much so as well, you know, and great battle there between Pádraig Kelly and James O'Connor on this side of the field.
Here they are again. Clare that Tomos was mentioning, there was an accidental blow there. There were all eyes on the ball. Kelly coming off just slightly the worse for wear. This time last year he had a very unhappy afternoon in the All-Ireland semi-final when he was really played out of position. Started at midfield, I seem to remember, ended up playing in the forwards. Back in his best position, wing back. Kelly the taker. Didn't get much length into it. Nigel Shaughnessy anticipating. Sent in. Oh, dropped by O'Halloran, and he needed his fullback to assist him, Brian Lohan. I'm sure he'll settle down now and play some wonderful hurling that he's really capable of. Likewise, Conor Clancy here. And that's gone just to the right. A third wide for Clare. Well, Clancy just for once there getting the measure in his duel with Sean Tracy. But nothing accruing. Richie Burke switching the direction of his puck out towards Ali Fahy. Galway doing well in several positions all over the field. Clare, you feel, still to settle. That's Hegarty. Good ball inside. Here's a great chance. Gerald Auckland. Oh, it's a goal! The score that Clare have looked for. And they go back in front. And it's the Sparrow once again. It's come in the 17th minute, and it was Fergal Hegarty who provided the fodder. Dreadful defending for once by Galway, and in crept Gerald Auckland. Well, the goalkeeper Richie Burke hadn't much chance here, dispensed with the hat, but he needed more than the hat to keep this shot out, right in the corner. Back live with the action. Now, what will be the Galway response to this minor body blow coming as it does about 17 minutes or so into the first half? Will that rock Galway's composure? It's a tense, anxious occasion for politicians, for mentors, for players. Here's Pádraig Kelly. That's a great ball, but there's nobody in the corner. They're having to chase after it. And in the end, an easy one for the defence. Doing just enough. But time and again we've seen Galway from half-back and in particular from midfield send in balls over the Clare full back line, and it's either gone to David Fitzgerald or gone wide.
That's right, Ger, and it's too early in the game for Galway to be bringing players out the field in the whole lot. I mean, they would be better if they stuck to their positions. And again, Joe Cooney was found out at centre forward there at that stage, and Liam Burke had moved into full forward position, but the ball had been out to Liam Burke's position.
Over the head of Pádraig Kelly, but that's Brendan Keogh. There were many who said in the build-up to this that he wouldn't have the measure of PJ O'Connell in terms of physique and so on. O'Connell, you remember, really ran his way through the Limerick defence in the Munster final, and so far that particular game plan hasn't been tried here. Anthony Daly, PJ O'Connell. Clare switching their half-forwards. Jamesy O'Connor is now right half-forward. Here's PJ O'Connell again. So to send in a lobbing ball. They wait for it inside. Nigel Shaughnessy there. Christy Halibert as well. This is Stephen McNamara. McNamara trying to go through the eye of a needle. Does so. Shorting the grip of the stick, and that's gone over the bar. That really could have gone anywhere. So Stephen McNamara, the point scorer here, right on the corner. Look as he took it away from Nigel Shaughnessy. Watch this for the determined run through. There you go, boom, out of my way. Shorten the grip on the stick, and the goalkeeper had to touch it over with his left hand. Here's McNamara once again. This grandson of Jackie Power, nephew of Ger, the great Kerry footballer who's played here at Croke Park so many times with great distinction. Christy Halibert. That goal has certainly settled down Clare. Anthony Daly hoping to lead his charges into the promised land, and a final here in 4 weeks' time against the champions. But it's a long way to go yet. Anybody's match. And here's Joe Cooney given space, and that's all he needs. A second point for Cooney, the first from play. And so now just a point between the teams. It's funny that in spite of all their experience, Galway come into this match as underdogs by and large for many people. I'm not sure the bookies actually put it that way. Not sure they were taking too much of a chance. Here's Justin Campbell. Galway players, I feel, felt that they had a lot to do for their own pride. They want to show their battling qualities, and they're certainly not prepared to be swept aside.
I think if we could see that again, Gerard, that was a line ball to Clare, I must say. I think it went off the Galway forward.
That's the way it looked, certainly. But it goes Galway's way. So the tension inside. Francis Ford against Frank Lohan. Pádraig Kelly cutting it up. That's a great cut. Batted down by Lohan to Joe Cooney! And it's tapped over the bar. And the sides are level. Joe Cooney's points, 2 in rapid succession. And level now for the second time in this Guinness All-Ireland semi-final. All of that coming from the sideline ball and touched in eventually. But by our reckoning here, it should have been a sideline ball the other way. All immaterial. Sean Tracy winning a good ball there against Conor Clancy, missed by Jerry McInerney, comes out to Ollie Baker, a block there which Nigel Shockleys was involved in, and so too Jerry Mack as they call him. Ollie Baker, the referee sounds the whistle, calls back the play, breaking up the stalemate.
But it's interesting, Joe Cooney has held his position there for the last 5 or 6 minutes, and he scored 2 points in play out of it.
In an under-21 match recently, he scored 2-5 against the Galway under-21s. This comes out towards Fergal Hegarty. Hegarty hand-passing it into space, intended for Fergie Toohey, who's made that switch with wings. It's Toohey now, who is in there challenging Pádraig Kelly. Likewise Stephen McNamara. Good determined hurling here by Galway. Francis Ford trying to get more into the match. Brian Lohan keeping it away from the attentions of Joe Cooney. The ball downfield, the intentions well read by Sean Tracy. Well caught. Taken neatly here by Fergal Hegarty. It's Hegarty and Baker at midfield for Clare. Toohey now left half forward. Trying to come away there from Michael Coleman. Nicely inside towards Stephen McNamara. McNamara bearing down. It's a goal! It's another Clare goal! McNamara the scorer. After the last Clare goal, Pat Fitzgerald, the county secretary, looks mighty pleased. Well, he might be. This was set up by Fergie Toohey, showing the younger legs against Michael Coleman. A good inviting ball inside, taken away well here by McNamara from Helibert and into the back of the net. This is a great spell of the match now for Clare, and we're slow to settle. Cross towards Jamesy O'Connor, held on for dear life, taking it away from Jerry McInerney. The younger Clare players asserting themselves right now, and that's sent straight between the posts. Jamesy O'Connor, the point scorer. Jamesy from the county football champions in Clare, if you can believe, from St Joseph's Dura Bearfield. 2-3 to 5 points. Well, this is what the Clare following came to Croke Park to see. A scoring blitz. Subs, I'm sure, wondering if they'll be called into action. Not if Clare keep on applying the finishing like this. McMahon batting it down.
And straight away there, Galway has switched Jerry McInerney back over to the other side and put Pádraig Kelly back over and Jamesy O'Connor. Obviously they think he's a big threat to them and put Pádraig Kelly back over to mark him.
Which is as you were, of course, because that's the pairing alignment that we had at the beginning of the match. But in opposite ends of the field right now, or corners of the field.
Galway were very disappointed with the 2 goals they've conceded, Jar. Obviously the first one was slipped by the cornerback, and again Christy Helibert seemed very slow there to commit himself to go and take the ball in front of the forward.
But this is something that Clare did this year quite deliberately. They brought in younger players and they're playing the game at a faster pace. But here's a youngster from Galway, it's Ollie Fahy. Fahy towards Joe Cooney. Instead it's picked up there by Brian Lohan. Liam Burke, captain Galway to under-21 honours 2 years ago. An awkward enough angle, makes the most of it and puts it over the bar. That's a great point by Liam Burke. So now just 3 points between the teams. I think it's very important for the players to take in as much liquid as possible during this match. We heard John Tracy yesterday in the commentary from Gothenburg and the women's marathon saying that it was important for the women athletes to take in water early rather than suffer dehydration, and it's that kind of hot afternoon, really steamy hot conditions. Michael Coleman. Fergie Toohey trying to take it up, that's over the sideline, and that'll be a Galway ball. So So just to confirm, as you see right now, Jerry McInerney right half back and Pádraig Kelly away on the left. So will Clare at this stage be modestly happy?
I would think so, Jerry, and just listening to you talking about the game that they're trying to play, obviously you've got to be very fit, and Clare proved that in Munster. Their main strength at the moment is their fitness and their never say die attitude, and that can win matches for you.
This is towards Francis Ford. Ford against Frank Lowen. Can he get the better of the corner back? He's put it out over the end line. Joe Rabbit appealing that it might have been a 65. This is a very fine young talent, Francis Ford, but he did clearly carry the ball out over the end line just before that was swept back in, I think. Nigel Shaughnessy takes it down well, attracting 3 Clare men to him, one of them PJ O'Connell. Shaughnessy stopped by Michael O'Halloran. Jamesy O'Connor, the unmistakable style, cross towards Gerald Loughlin, who's knocked out by a collision of players as play continues. It comes out to Michael Coleman. The referee going to blow it up because of an accidental collision of heads. And it seemed to me that Gerald Loughlin was the one who came off second best.
I think Jerry McInerney there going back towards his own goal and plays with the 2 players coming out.
Well, we had an accidental clash of heads, you may remember as well, in the semi-final 2 years ago when it was Galway against Tipperary, and then play was held up during the second half. I think it was Rémi Ryan was the player who was injured on that occasion, and thankfully, like Rémi, Gerald Loughlin is back on his feet again. Christy Helibert from Ballindereen. Seemed to damage his chest as well as he was going into that tussle. Joe Rabbit has now moved to right half forward. Justin Campbell is centre half forward for Galway. Both matches this afternoon been played in a wonderful spirit. Not a foul stroke, thankfully, but just great committed play. That's touched down by Brian Lowen. Galway can be dangerous here. Lowen appreciating that. On his own 13-metre line, he makes the clearance. Pádraig Kelly was batting at fresh air. On towards Clancy, doesn't get onto it. They're wondering where it's gone to. It's with Jerry McInerney, now Michael Coleman. Inside towards Justin Campbell. Remember now he's the man on the 40 against Shawny McMahon. Comes out towards Ollie Baker. Clare with a 3-point advantage and about 6.5 minutes to go to half-time. Clare's free. Shawny McMahon here, who made the remarkable recovery of coming back from a broken shoulder suffered in the Munster semi-final. Certainly didn't appear to hamper him against Limerick, nor in this match so far. From 65 metres out from his own goal, he scored a point apiece in each of the 2 championship matches so far. Nothing here. Hit 4 wonderful long-range frees in the league final as well against Kilkenny back in early May. So Justin Campbell contesting here, but ahead of them is Ollie Baker. Baker playing really well at midfield. One of the stars so far towards Stephen McNamara, one of the goal scorers. Pádraig Kelly takes it up. Nigel Shaughnessy, great catch by Nigel Shaughnessy, setting Galway on their way. This is anybody's match, but that's poor finishing. And really at that stage, you either wanted to put some pressure on the goalkeeper or at least put it into the forwards. Well, that was from a good 45 metres out. Pile up of bodies ends up with Jamesy O'Connor taking possession but unable to take his score. Well, it's curious that they have avoided the temptation so far to put him into midfield.
Yes, they've avoided that, but I must say in the last 7 or 8 minutes he's come very much more into the game, you know, and Clare will be depending on him very much so today to actually gain victory.
Richie Burke playing in his 8th championship match this afternoon. Here's Liam Doyle, one of Clare's best. Clancy drops it down. Stephen McNamara with the hand pass. Nicely on here for Tui. Fergie Tui, the shot looking for another goal. PG O'Connell, and the referee has blown his whistle, I think. It's going to be a free in. But my goodness, they were close to getting goal number 3 for the afternoon. Here's what happened. Fergie Tui profited by this lovely hand pass by Stephen McNamara, and then Brendan Keogh felled him there outside the 13-metre line. James O'Connor looking for his 2nd point of the day. This one from a free, the other one came from play. And it's Clare who extend their lead. It's now Clare 2-4, Galway 6 points.
Every time the ball has gone into the full forward line inside, Galway's defences seem to be in right trouble. And again, we had a situation there where we could have had a 3rd goal for Clare.
Richie Burke. Galway, of course, have played with a slight breeze at their backs in the first half. Swirling wind as Ollie Fahy overpasses to Joe Rabbit, and Rabbit really hasn't been in the match at all so far. Francis Ford, another one of those trying to get to the tempo of this game. But it's Anthony Daly right in the thick of the action. Downfield it sails. Lovely control there by Fergal Hegarty. Hegarty soloing forward. A good block. Taken down. Nigel Shaughnessy and Brendan Keogh combined well that time. Here's Shaughnessy. Young player has started at minor at under 21 level as Joe Rabbit breaks the stick, and Ollie Fahy is on his way. This must be a score, and it is. Good point there by Ollie Fahy, his 2nd of the day. Late in this first half, he makes it 2-4 to 7 points. Well, if anybody thinks that Galway are going to give up without a fight in this All-Ireland semi-final and allow Clare's dream to continue to be realised, on a roll Clare may be, but right now Galway ready to stymie them if at all possible. Davy Fitzgerald's puck out, landing 45 metres or 5 metres out from the Galway goal. Nigel Shaughnessy there again. Michael Coleman pulling on it. Brian Lohan put under some pressure, assisted by Shawnee McMahon. PG O'Connell against 2 or 3 Galway players. Michael Coleman waits for the ball to come down. It comes down as far as Fergie Tui. Tui going through the centre, looking for a score. That's going left, however. 7 wide so far for Clare, 4 for Galway. The statistics so far, as we're just now inside the last 2 minutes of this first half. It's been full of action and quite entertaining. Shawnee McMahon, he really is settling down to play a blinder at centre half back. Back there, Francis Ford, partly blocked by PG O'Connell, trying to take it up, does so. Without the stick now, back to Anthony Daly. Daly across towards Stephen McNamara's corner. McNamara is doing well against Halliburtt, causing him lots of problems. He's got support outside, goes inside instead. Well, the original option might have been a better one. Clancy gets it back nonetheless. Once again to Fergie Tui. Looking for a point, that's beautifully struck. Just inside the left-hand post. Fergie Tui's first point. Young player from Clare Castle, just outside Ennis. Well, this week there have been saffron and blue flags everywhere and anywhere. The hype has been great as we watch Fergie Tui once again take his chance with some aplomb. Clare setting up 14 scoring chances so far, 11 scoring chances set up for Galway. And you can see the number of scores they've each registered so far, 7 apiece. That's Conor Clancy. A little block there by PG O'Connell, very instrumental in setting up Gerald Loughlin. Where's it gone? Just to the left. Not too much in that one. But you can see that the first line of defence very often for Clare is their inside forward line or even their half forward line, and there PG O'Connell was in there with a very daring block.
Yes, Ger, and the Clare half back line again have proved very staunch again today, and it really is interesting to see Anthony Daly and Brian Lohan and the whole lot of them playing with great determination.